SFOTH is a sword-fighting game created by Shedletsky, but SFOTH Reforged is a remake of the game with currently 5 additional swords. And it's cool and all to have so many unique swords in the game, but have you ever wondered, what if you took the fun aspect of SFOTH of being able to choose any sword you want to fight people with and throw it out the window and force yourself to get a minimum killstreak of 20 with the sword that the Wheel of Fate chooses? No, just me. Oh, okay. Now, let me explain to you the rules. I spin the wheel, and whichever sword the wheel chooses is the sword I have to use to get the 20 killstreak badge. I can use other items to help me like the touchstone, medkits, shield orb and shadow sphere, but no Illumina flying or using other swords. Now that I've explained the rules, let's get to sword fighting or, spinning the wheel I guess. Venom Shank. For your information, Venom Shank is a powerful sword which deals tons of damage and has a huge range. Wait, oh my bad, I was talking about the IV version. Cough cough, in Reforged Venom Shank sucks. Well anyway, for this run I decided to use every single item on the map that I could find. Mainly Shadow Sphere since I could sneak up on people to get easy kills. And also the touchstone to get out of any risky situation. For the rest of the run, I mainly snuck up on people or ambushed them from above. Link Sword. The classic of them all. Fun fact, I did a 123 killstreak with Link's sword for a tournament and still lost. Well either way, for this run I sword fighted people instead of sneaking up on them. Not because I'm a master at sword fighting, but because 95% of SFOTH players are bad at the game, with all of the good sword fighters either staying in IV or in Reforged's Discord server. So yeah, on to the next sword. Earthsplitter, an interesting sword. I personally only use it to counter shield orb users during killstreaking. But it has big range, and it does average damage. Honestly, I think the run was mainly easy because of the big range. Venom Shank still sucks since its damage is low and you have to rely heavily on the poison damage. If you don't know why I'm not excited for this, it's very simple. Wooden sword is the worst sword in the game, dealing a pathetic total of 18 damage. And in fact, this was so difficult that it took me an entire day just to get the 20 killstreak. Also, I turned green during the run, so ignore that. For this sword, I had to heavily rely on other items to help me, since sword fighting anybody normally with the wooden sword is practically impossible. So yeah, this was a pain to do. Ghostwalker, the best sword for streaking, and it is my personal favorite, even though it's a bit cheap. Also look at this trick. Pretty cool, huh? You basically equip the Ghostwalker as soon as you start jumping from the jump pad. By the way, the reason I called Ghostwalker cheap is because it makes you fully invisible once you get 9 kills in a row without dying. The people can still see your sword and your face though. But since 90% of reforged players are kids on their phones, you can get easy kills with it. The only struggle I had is a killstreaker taking my kills. Easy. Firebrand, another sword which is OP in IV, but weak in reforged. Also, I would like to mention something which is a bit of a rant. SFOTH is such a classic game, yet the game itself can barely reach 500 active players, which means that many new players only know the SFOTH swords from other games, like Blocktails, Fighting or Forsaken because of Cool Kid. And I have no problem with those games using the SFOTH swords. It's just kind of sad seeing that barely anybody know where those swords originate from. And that goes as well for the fire ring. But oh well, I joined in 2019, so I know nothing about retro. Also, the Yap session is over. Ah yes, the one sword that isn't used like a sword. Honestly, it was a lot more fun to use than the other swords. Mainly because I was faster and could ambush anyone. Also, here's a trick. Lunge your Illumina, but stay still after lunging and after a second jump. And you'll make yourself jump just vertically instead of both vertically and horizontally. Similar to the Ancient. Oh, and also, if you plan to use an Illumina for 1v1, don't jump and then lunge, like what I did right here. But the rest of it was a breeze. Dark Heart, the sword that is pretty fun for battles. For me, it's basically a sword for whenever I want to casually sword fight and not killstreak. By the way, if you're still watching this video, then thank you so much. I started this channel for fun, but now I have a dream of reviving the sword fighting genre with my content. So, thanks for sticking around. But yeah, this run was the same as Linked. Sky Dagger, the second sword that is used more like an item than a sword. It's very fun for casual battles since the speed advantage and double jump catches most people off guard. Though I wouldn't recommend it for streaking due to its small range. But I already did a 90 to kill streak with a Sky Dagger, so getting 20 kills was a breeze. Ancient, the third sword to be used more like an item than a sword. But the Ancient is basically a worse version of Illumina. The only purpose I've seen from the sword is either countering Ghostwalker users or for the Reforged Only Swords tournament. The sword isn't bad itself, but there are much better options to choose from. Windforce, the most underrated sword in my opinion. It deals average damage of 54, but it has a big range and can send your opponent flying from just touching the sword. And unless the person you're fighting has a touchstone, they're done for. But yeah, nothing much to say else. Ice Dagger. What do Streakers and Brand have in common? They both goddamn hate the Ice Dagger. Though it's not good for duels, it's very funny to use. And I remember getting a 90 for killstreak with an Ice Dagger. The funniest part about those streaks is that it only happens when I'm doing it for fun. When I have to do it for a tournament, my brain immediately shuts down. Except for the linked sword tournament. But for this run I had to be a bit more smarter since I couldn't immediately ambush from above, due to the Ice Dagger having a 3-second charge up before it can insta-kill. So I instead opted to attack from behind. Or chase them down if the player for some reason refuses to use their sword. Void Caller, the last sword on our list. It is the first sword where you have to press a different key, other than M1. Thank you very much for watching this very long video LOL. Hope you enjoyed it and see you next week.